Okay, I'm getting it opened up here for us. Okay, so my name is Elisa Meyer. I'm in Biochemistry 1 online course. Today I will be doing my project on penicillin. This here is the structure of penicillin. A few fun facts and interesting facts about penicillin. Going along with their structure that we just saw, the functional group is an amide, and that amide has a nitrogen atom attached to it. When I say it, I mean a carbonyl group of a carbon atom. An example of an amide is penicillin. Penicillin is a group of antibiotics that include penicillin G, V, and procaine penicillin, and benzathine penicillin. This year marks the 80th anniversary of the discovery of penicillin, the first naturally occurring antibiotic drug discovered and used therapeutically. There's less than 1% of people that are dangerously allergic to penicillin, and that is a fact that I have heard several times because I am in that 1% and am extremely allergic to it. Some history about it. Penicillin antibiotics were among the first medications to be effective against many bacterial infections caused by Staphylococcus, and forgive me if I pronounce that incorrectly. It was discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928. This phenomenon has long been known, but this phenomenon meaning it being caused by the bacteria. But it may explain why the ancient Egyptians had to practice of applying a poultice of moldy bread to infected wounds. But it was not until 1928 that penicillin, the first true antibiotic, was discovered by Alexander Fleming, as mentioned above, professor of bacteriology at St. Mary's Hospital in London. So basically, the history of it is it was used in a more natural form by the Egyptians with moldy bread, but they then noticed that this mold was helping infections, and they then turned it into a functional medicine. So the physical and chemical reactions of penicillin. The term penicillin refers to the longer name, so this is for the physical, for each set of groups, but it is produced naturally by a certain blue mold, but it is now synthetically produced, and that's kind of what I just explained. So it was from a certain blue mold, but now it's synthetically produced into a medicine form. A quote from one of my sources: "It is synthesized using secondary metabolite of certain species of penicillium, and is produced when growth of the fungus is inhibited by stress. It is not produced during active growth." And that was found by Newman and Philip Gregory in 2018, and we'll see that in my sources later. The penicillin mold can create a mesh-like structure around the plasma membrane. So this is how the penicillin works itself within the body, chemically in the body. It creates a mesh-like structure around the plasma membrane of bacterial cells. They increase and they strengthen in the strength of the cell walls and prevents external fluid, in particular, particles from entering the cell. So this helps keep them kind of in quarantine, if you will, so that things don't seep out and spread. Another fact that I found about how they work in the body chemically is when a bacterium multiplies, small holes then open up in the cell walls as the cells divide. So newly produced peptidoglycans then fill these holes and reconstruct the walls. So it's showing how it both prevents the spread and then helps the healing process. The uses of penicillin. We heard a bit about the history, how it started. So as we mentioned, it kind of goes into the history also, but the great Egyptians used it to treat bacterial infections, and now in a modern day, the discovery of penicillin has changed the course of medicine and has enabled physicians to treat formerly severe and life-threatening illnesses, such as bacterial endocarditis, meningitis, again, my apologies on the pronunciation of these, pneumonia, gonorrhea, and syphilis. They are still widely used today, though many strains of bacteria have developed a resistance to penicillium fungi and those are the source of penicillin, which people can take orally or via injection. And that's another quote from another source of the Mayo Clinic. Here are my sources listed here. So as mentioned, I used the Mayo Clinic. I also used a peer-reviewed article by Newman T. and then WebMD, which is where I found the structure and some of the interesting facts. Thank you so much. Hope you had a great weekend.